We are here, and our faces are on the screen, and all of our faces are on the screen.
Hello.
It's a miracle. It's a Samhain Alalivatio miracle.
What up, sluts?
What up, indeed? For
Today's
context, it is November 2nd.
It is also the day of the Italian Festival of the Dead.
Yeah.
Festa dei Morti.
So, how's everybody's spooky time been? As in the past few days from Samhain to the day after, because I know the day after is also significant, and today too.
For me, like, it's been sobering. I don't know. Maybe that's the word. I'm really feeling the dying half of the year. Like I'm feeling the wither. I'm feeling the like from a nature perspective, right? I'm feeling those spirits kind of sleep and kind of take a rest for a while. And in our tradition of Orglava, we burn our butsaman right before sundown on Halloween night, which is Alalivitzio. And what that does is you have to burn him before sundown because basically that's when the wild hunt starts, right? So his spirit will die with the dying season, but if the vessel is still there, if the shell is still there, it can be taken over by unfriendly things, and not even just unfriendly, some really nasty things. So it just becomes like a beacon for shit to take over, and it's not something you want to happen because it's not good if that happens. If your Butsuman gets taken over by an evil, unfriendly spirit, so that's why you burn him to release his spirit, and to get rid of the shell, so there's no shell left for anything to inhabit. And this was our first year doing it, going through the creation of it all the way down to the burning of it. And I forget which episode it was that Scott had picked up on our Butsamon before we put him out. So it'll be interesting to see next time you come over if you sense like an absence of that, kind of same entity.
I'm really curious.
Yeah.
I really am.
But shit, where was I going? Yeah, so we released him, we burned him, and it was pretty dry around here. We hadn't gotten a lot of rain when we burned him, and he just went whoosh. Like, and for me as an Aries, as a fire sign, I sometimes really struggle with like starting and building fires. It's like a skill that I have to do more of and really perfect. But yeah, this just went whoosh, and I didn't even need to use like lighter fluid or anything like that to get this to go. Like I just used those pine starters, the fat wood. Just use those, lit those, and and just woof, went right up. And over lunch,
Fire and I are such good friends. Oh.
Yeah, sometimes it's funny. A lot of Earth signs tend to be good at building and starting fires. Maybe it's because like it's built with materials of the earth, and then these are the things that keep me up at night.
I think what it comes down to is a person-to-person basis. I've met a lot of earth signs as well who are afraid of it. Fire is one of those things where if you haven't worked with it physically, you tend to have a large fear factor because it's like so iconoclastic as like a destroyer, and like people see so much things about like, oh, a fire destroyed this family's home, or like that kind of shit, right? And it really sticks in their minds because it is a powerful thing, and it should not be disrespected in the slightest. But also fearing it is also a kind of disrespect as well, right?
Yeah.
It's like something that's kind of integral to our existence. So having a healthy respect for it and working with it, like you build a relationship with it, and it will even like not want to burn you a lot of the time if you're good with it and you work with it often, right? Just like if you work with water, you will be better at holding your breath underwater. And if you work with wind, you'll be better at talking with people and holding or like having more stamina with your air. And if you work with earth, you'll get more all kinds of benefits. That one's a lot more ephemeral because you could manifest it as like finances and stuff, but you could also get it as like physical bodily health. So there's like a lot of aspects to shit. It's like cool.
I also find as a water sign, interestingly, I'm very, very good with plants. Like I'm very
Well, plants need
novice, but
water.
I know,
makes
it's what I thought. I was like, I guess that's
So-
what it is.
That's the funny thing about the elements.
thirsty ass
They're all
plants.
they're really so interrelated. And so, like,
Yeah.
for example, a lot of people talk about opposites, but what kind of opposite it is kind of incurs a relationship, right? So a really good example of this is you might think fire and water are opposites because water puts fire out, right? But fire can make water boil, and there's a lot of interactions there, and it can turn into steam. But what I think is actually the opposites is
Me and
water
Scott
and
together.
air. And this is an observation. Water and air are paired opposites, like a dyad, right? Because your air will have humidity basically wherever you go, and if you have a lack of humidity, you'll feel it, and you'll actually like have it more affect you, and you'll need to drink more water, right? We rely on the fact that water and air are interchangeable as gases within each other, and the fact that they coexist, right? So those two are kind of like dyadic in the same way that earth and fire are, right? Because and also fire is actually one of those really interesting ones because it unites a lot of other opposites. It needs both earth and wind to be able to operate. So like if it didn't have air and it didn't have earth for its fuel sources, it wouldn't be able to generate its energy. And that's also similar to how lightning works in my opinion, to kind of like that fifth element of like ether. And I'll explain why. Because it combines wind and water for a storm, plus you need heat, which is fire, and it needs to ground to earth because lightning is an arc circuit, right? And what it generates is plasma, which is another state of matter. So lightning, in my opinion, is the fifth element. And that shit is straight up magic because it combines all of the elements to operate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, they do. They all have intersecting. That's why. I mean, it's the whole. It's a large premise of the Western. Why we invoke the spirits of earth and air and fire and water. I mean, understanding how they're connected and in ways that they move through one another, and not separate, and not seeing them as separate things, but as forces that exist with and because of one another.
Mm-hmm.
But you were saying about the Butsuman and
Oh yeah. So yeah, we released him. And I felt it. Like I did feel like this release of the spirit, a release of the burden, of taking care of the garden. It was this sense of relief, like my work here is done. And I'm off, and that was really nice. And so that we did that a couple days before. We did that the Monday, the week of Halloween, last Monday, I guess. Yeah. So we did that on Monday, and then a little bit after that came the rains, and that's why we specifically wanted to burn him on Monday, because sometimes I don't think we appreciate enough our weather apps. Like, I hope us as like occult practitioners, even just being pagan or just being animist, like it is such like to be able to know, oh, it's going to rain on Wednesday. Like, it's just nice to know that, and that's fucking magic.
right?
I'd argue some magic is also trying to control that situation, though, because like I'm gonna go off on a little rant here. I had like a little miniature initiation with like the wind and storm element recently.
Mm.
Insofar as I'm supposed to be doing that elemental working throughout the seasons, and I totally was fucking busy this summer, so I have to repeat the summer because I failed that one next year. I need to do that one to complete the circuit.
You gotta
I'm
go to
working on the
summer
wind
school.
one right now. Yeah, I gotta go to summer school next year. I'm working on the wind one right now, and I was really getting crushed out here in like 4 degrees Celsius weather. If one of y'all want to translate that for American temperatures, but
Pretty
0
fucking
degrees
cold.
Celsius is freezing, right?
Yeah.
So 4-degree rain is brutal. It's harder than
Yeah.
-5 in like the snow and the slush because you're getting wet constantly. And then it was like high winds as well, right? So it was just tearing through us for like 2 days straight. The first day was just like all like it was like 8 millimeters of rain, which is like almost a centimeter, which is like a lot of fucking rain to fall down on you. And it was like scattered the whole day. So we were just drenched constantly. And I was like trying to do petitions to get it to stop and giving like libations and offerings. And it was just like not happening. Right.
Mm.
And then on the second day, when it was getting so bad, I reached out to one of my friends who, he and I kind of had this thing going where we both work the opposite sides of the year a lot more. I'm very much like the summer person, and he's very much like the winter person. And it's like officially his time now. So I asked him for help. I said, "Hey, look, I need you to really help me out here. You're like, this is killing me. I need you to like cut the winds and the rain." And for some reason, reaching out to him, even though he didn't read message, worked. All of a sudden, like within an hour, the storm broke and it turned really fucking beautiful. And I realized the lesson was it like communication, speaking to each other, asking for help. You can't really do everything all on your own sometimes. You really need to know when you need to reach out to ask for help from somebody else or from the spirits, right? And once I had learned to do that, the storms broke. We got this tremendously beautiful golden sunset, and I could see some clouds that were low moving that I could tell were wind spirits because they were unlike everything else around them. They were like these really ephemeral shapes that were like changing really rapidly and moving really quick, and they were catching like the golden lights. I'm like, oh my god, I know exactly what you are. And I was watching them very joyously because we had like come through a day and a half of hell, and the rain had finally broken and it had finally warmed up enough for us to like get through this second day without it being torturous. And it was just like because I asked for help, right? So you learn different things with each of the elements, right? Water is a lot more like emotionally connected to the self. It's funny because I also failed the water one as well. I failed the water and the earth, and I got to repeat those next year. But I'm actually like nailing the wind, and I already did the fire one. So
you're not quite the Avatar. You have not.
look. It takes time, and the person I was doing it with kind of had a bunch of shit come up, and I had to actually just like read a bunch of books on the gentry and the fair folk and the good neighbors. Scott's like, "Ooh, look, you know your terms that you're supposed to be using." I've read at least like 6 books on this shit at this point, Scott. So I'm kind of like just continuing exactly what we were doing, but with my understanding of how to connect to each of the 4 aspects that you're supposed to be doing. So, yeah.
It's funny you mention that because that's actually something like as far as your question for me, going through this particular season, we've talked about it before. I always feel really strong this time of year. And it sort of doesn't start to, and I kind of don't, I don't have the lull until sort of well after the first half of spring.
Getting into
More
like late
towards
May,
like closer
June.
to summer. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when I
Mhm.
start to feel a little more whatever.
I
But
notice people do have their alignments usually, like they prefer one half of the year for a very specific reason, or they're like crepuscular insofar as they don't like either winter or summer, but they like autumn and spring.
yeah, that happens a lot. Yeah, I tend to very strongly be like that, but I do feel more magically active, um, and all throughout the dark half, and in that really early and mid part of spring season. Um, but it's funny because there's so much real life um decay, that decay for transformation, right? That very Saturnian like energy that sort of comes
Everything
through with the
comes to an
season.
end.
Yeah. And it's weird because it's not all easy, and a lot of it's scary right now, and but at the same time, I was so like I took a lot of time this on Halloween on Samhain um to really try to be more, I don't know, devout. And I didn't do anything super complicated. I did a red meal, and I left out milk and traditional offerings for the fair folk. And it's funny because like I whilst also very stressed and very worried, I felt there's a sensation when I woke up on November 1st, and I felt very particularly blessed, as you're supposed to, right? The idea is that when you leave out your offerings and you do your rites on that night the way you're
Mhm.
supposed to, you are supposed to be given good fortune for the rest of the right till the next dark harvest, right? Till the next Samhain, till the next year. Um and I definitely felt like that beautiful, first November sun was shining beautiful and bright, and it was the perfect weather, and it felt so good. And I woke up, and I went outside, and because I've been waking up really early because I'm also in class pretty early, and I blew out my jack-o'-lanterns, which I leave burning all night, um, because very similar to you, Jay, the Wild Hunt for me also rides, and one of the particular goddesses that I work with, Nick Nevin, that's her night. It's her feast day, and she also has a connotation of as being one of the leaders of the Wild Hunt. There are many throughout many different European cultures, but she's one of them, from Scotland. And yeah, I made sure to do a red meal for them, and I did it for the spirits of the three worlds, and I
Hey
woke up
Scott,
feeling really blessed. Mm-hmm.
and you remember how it said you get blessings?
Yeah.
I got this for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Look at that.
It
I
is
got this for
beautiful.
you. It got frayed a little bit, but that's a 5-leaf.
Oh, a
That's
5-leaf,
so
cool.
Thank you.
Rue found.
I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
I know
buddy.
you're doing your
You
liquid
did
The
find
hard
analysis.
thing is, it's hard to get these hard cases. I need to like buy a bunch of these in bulk because this is the best way to save them. If anybody's ever interested, I find the best way to get 4-leaf clovers is to really fucking respect them when you pick them. So here's what I do. I press them behind like a book or like a phone case for a set amount of time. Books are better because they'll breathe organically. If you do it in a phone case, it darkens slightly, but sometimes you use what you have on hand, right?
Yeah.
And one of these clears like card sleeves into a hard card sleeve case, and they keep so well, and you can like mail them to people, and yeah, they're more likely to give you 4-leaf clovers if you respect them and take care of them.
I found one. I found my
You
first
did.
one in our backyard. And it was when I was going outside to check on the plants, and I literally it was so crazy. Like I literally felt like Lou was like shining on me. It was like really crazy. And I pressed it in the pages of a Celtic book, a Celtic lore book, for a week, and then I laminated it, because I have a
There you go.
lamination
That's a great way to
machine.
do it. That's a great
And
way to
I
do it.
laminate it. Yep. And I don't know what I want to like. It was so funny. Like if I find more, I already have like some of my TikTok mutuals. Speaking of Scott, my TikTok mutual knows you. You know Brian Thompson. That's my
Yeah.
TikTok mutual. Stop. Do you like
Yeah.
know them in real life? Real life?
Yeah. Yeah. My friend Richie's cousin. He's my friend Rich's cousin.
Stop. That's so
Yeah.
funny. I love them so much. And like they're just, oh my god, they're like my most cherished mutual, obviously outside of you and Darian. Which is just so funny. They're like, wait a minute, I know Scott. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's small world after all.
I know.
But they were like, if you find another one, you need to send one to me. I'm like, obviously. But right now it's just sitting in the lamination on my computer desk. I think I'm gonna make a little a little necklace. I think I want to pin it to, spoilers, Sage Lacarta, my fursuit. I think I want to pin it to my fursuit head.
That'd be
Um,
cute.
a great use of them is giving them away for sure. It is one of my favorite things to do with them because it doesn't feel like you're getting greedy about it, you know?
Yeah,
It
especially
keeps
when you
it
pick as
really
many as
keeps
you
the
do.
magic flowing.
Yeah, you can find a lot
For
of them.
real, for real.
Especially when you pick as many as you do. But I love the idea
Although,
of
like,
putting
they did
that's so
get
cute.
mad at me because I picked like 12 in one day, and like, sorry, I'm just looking for my hormones right now because I realized I only took half of my dose. I need my other medication.
It just made
Okay.
me get. I'm just looking
And
for
them
my hormones,
hormonies.
guys. Where'd they go?
Anyways, I'll deal with
Where'd I
that in a
put them
minute.
things?
But you know, they got mad at me because I picked like 12 in a day, and that's exactly what I'm sure caused some shit to happen. Which actually just seems to have mostly resolved now. I think they just kind of wanted me to acknowledge it. Like, I encourage you to pull some cards from me to Scott to see if it's resolved or not.
I honestly like the cool thing too about this season, and it's really bizarre how very, very psychic I've like the connection to my psychic senses are absolutely crazy particularly this year. Sometimes it doesn't happen like the way that I would expect it to. Like I'm very like I could be very sensitive to it this time of year, but being sensitive to it and like having these like really powerful, clear moments of
Yep.
precognition, which is generally something I'm not used to. I'm not very precognitive.
Like a total like that's so Raven like stare off
Yeah,
into the
like very
distance and like
very well, I guess it's more like okay. That technically is like a vision of the okay, I my bad. I used the technically it's clairvoyance, clear knowing. So what's been happening is that I wake up and I'm very aware, like very, very certain of a particular thing that's going to happen.
I
Like
think we've had some
before it
moments like that
happens, which
too.
is clairvoyance, clear knowing. Not as because precognition is a sense
Claire
that
sentience.
you're
But
seeing
it's
it before
been
it happens. It's
I
like a
think I've had
vision.
the same thing too, but it's been about very mundane things. Like,
Yeah.
you
Same. It's
know, we're
very
gonna hit
super mundane.
traffic or, you know, like we need like whatever it is. Yeah. Like really mundane shit.
Yep.
Do y'all like
And
also see spirits more clearly this time of year? Because like holy shit, I saw at least 2 last night and they looked really fucking weird. Like clearly some spirit shit. Like kind of half animalistic, but like with the features really fucked up and like elongated and weird.
a lot of spirits. I mean, I won't. So spirits tend to look like that for me anyway. Like Darian laughs at me like if you ever see a lot of like Polish like traditional Polish mask makers, a lot of like where they have like jewels hanging and like you know like that's and Darian's like this is what spirits look like to you. I'm like yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
that's
saw
pretty
one.
much it, you know, especially like inhuman ones. I was like, they don't
Yeah.
look, you know, like people have expectations of what they expect spirits to look like. But a lot of the ones that I see, they almost look like they're wearing masks or like they're like it's so
Yeah, that did
bizarre.
it is the feel. It's like their body doesn't really match their head. That is for sure. I saw one of these things when we were filming in the woods until midnight on Samhain. Yeah, of course I saw some shit being out in the fucking woods at Samhain in the middle of fucking nowhere where there's barely any light pollution and you can see the stars very goddamn clearly. And there's like this thing that looks at me and it's like, oh, you can see me shit.
That sounds beautiful. I mean, it's funny because, like, I will say this. I will say this. I was very aware that the city was very alive with the spirits of the spirits in general. Um, like, I definitely felt like when I finished my red meal, which in and of itself is an offering, but I wanted to make sure I left stuff out for the hungry dead and for the fair folk that also are wandering on this night. Um, and you know, when I was placing that and I was saying I didn't say anything really ritual. It was just a heartfelt, like, you know, I'm giving this to the hungry dead, the spirits who are wandering right now, you know, take of this and be nourished. You know what I mean? And then I gave, the 2% milk that we currently have that's killing all of our stomachs in this house because we mostly drink lactate. But it had a higher fat content, and I forgot to get cream. And hold on one second. So sorry.
Duh! No wonder they blew over the garbage at the fucking
What?
one day and knocked a bottle of milk into the fucking road. Ugh, duh! They wanted a fucking milk offering.
Yeah,
LOL.
yeah,
How could I have
cream
not
milk,
seen
yeah.
that?
and I left the milk out, and it was funny because like I felt like I could feel it acknowledged, and I've been watching this really cool channel on YouTube, and it was actually it's actually stories from Asian countries, ghost stories from Asian countries, and they during August, I believe, they did ghost stories during Ghost Month, which is kind of their spooky season. And it was funny because that's it. The way that they perceive it is always how I've had the sense of it during this month, right? During October and November, dark half of the year, really. But you could feel that sense of like wandering dead, like just sort of aimlessly going about, and I could tell that they were sort of like, like ready to gather about around the food before I went inside, right? Like they were like waiting for me to go close the door, and then they went for it. I wasn't in trouble or anything. I wasn't in any danger, because I was doing, proper traditional, the rites that you do, right? But I could definitely feel how active, how alive the world of the other world is right now in ways that I haven't in years. Which is really funny because I have been so stressed with mundane life, but I was forcing myself to enjoy this season. I wanted to, I was making a joke with mom earlier in October, and I was like, I was quoting Piper from Charmed. I was like, I'm going to celebrate the witch's holiday with enthusiasm. And, and I was like, sure, there's not much to celebrate right now, and things are fucking hard, and I'm fucking terrified, but like I'm gonna force myself to experience both the Halloweeny parts, right, the fun and spoopy and whatever, and I'm also gonna, really make sure to do some kind of ritual and some kind of offering. I carved I carved turnips, neat lanterns, I carved jack-o'-lanterns. I really had fun this season, and I really connected.
Do you know, I think this one felt different and louder.
Yeah.
Because the spirits, I think, want to let us know that they're here.
Yeah.
And that they want to work with us, right? Like,
yeah, like they're on this, like we're on the same team.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all a little story. I might have told it last week, but it's really fucking funny. So I was looking through some audiobook samples because I read like a maniac, because I play them while I'm driving to and from work, and it's like 2+ hours a day sometimes. And it was some Hecate's book that came up. So I was like, okay, play sample. It was kind of interesting, but I didn't want to just jump and play it because they gave me a really bad sample. They did like just the intro. So then in my mind, the words, I heard, look up keeping her keys. I'm like, yeah, do it. So I did it. And I got the glitch that you get sometimes, or that I get sometimes, where you get an audiobook for free. It just says download right below buy, And so I downloaded it for free to my library, and I started listening to it. And at some point I stopped working with it because I didn't quite agree with some points she was making. It's not like any shade at her. It just didn't really click, but it was about Hecate, right? And I'm like, okay, well, I get that Hecate is really loud and she wants me to actually like start working with her more seriously now. But I switch off this book because I don't agree with some of the things she's saying, and I just need a break. And I pick up a Jason Miller book because I was like, you know what? I didn't read Jason Miller when I was newer, which is funny because like one of the first books I got when I was newer was Jason Miller, and he's just actually much more advanced than a lot of other authors who will write topics out there. So I had to come back to him later, which I'm deeply enjoying right now. He's a very, very, very good author, actually. I'm glad I gave him a second chance. And I'm reading Consorting with Spirits, which is fan-fucking-tastic. Yeah, I know Scott's going to get it right now.
It's in reaching distance.
I was like, that was
fantastic.
You didn't even have to look for it, really. You were like, it's right here.
It's a book you'll come back to because it's got like stuff that you're gonna want to reference. Because he actually does like proper
I love a good reference book.
and talks about doing like summoning circles on the ground, for example. right? And he does it seriously, and he's done like his full 9-month invocation that not everybody does when you read Sacred Magic of Abramelin the Mage. And you can't really follow that text to the T because like it's pretty ridiculous. It's like written at 600 AD, so like take it with a grain of
You gotta modernize it.
the bigotry and bias out.
Yeah.
But yeah, he actually knows his shit. And then as I'm reading through this, he's like, and for the most of this book, I'm going to be dedicating it to my work with Hecate. And I'm like, fuck, I knew it, of course. And so I'm like, you got me, fine. So then now I'm like, okay, I got to start working with you more and like actually like listen to the stuff that you were proposing to me earlier, which I'm not going to like go and talk about on camera and in broadcast, but I agreed to some of her terms. I'm not going to say what here now though. But
all I was gonna say is welcome, sister. She can be very demanding.
Well, no, look, you gotta understand. I've worked with her before in the past, but there was a thing that happened in 2020 when I was like going through it and I like tried to quit Magick altogether, and I had a statuette of her and I smashed it, right?
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yowza.
So like
I remember.
It's a thing. I've talked about it before. But yeah, so anyways, I've definitely worked with her a lot in the past. Too.
I was just the reason I said that is because I was just saying welcome. We were at Delmarva Pagan Pride, and I was just wearing Hekate's wheel, and I got pulled aside by a vendor, and she gave me this huge hug, and she said, "Oh my God, hi sister, I have something for you." And I was like,
I have
"What?"
a wooden medallion of hers as well that I've had since 2022, and I have an Afame that's dedicated to her, and what else was it? An iron key of hers. So yeah.
Is that where you got your pendant, Rue?
No. So the funny thing was, Jay bought that pendant for me from Strange Omens. Nix, what's up?
Yeah.
That was previous Pagan Pride, and then Delmarva. Her name is Grinning Wolf Studios. And she pulled me aside and she gave me this. And she gave me a pair of earrings that were. Was it not Grinning Wolf Studios?
No.
It's something Wolf. Smiling Wolf Studio? I cannot remember.
Smiling Wolf. Yeah.
Smiling Wolf.
Oh my God.
Smiling Wolf Studio. No, you're fine. And she gave me earrings, which I found out you can get gauges that will have the little hoop at the bottom so you can wear hanging earrings. But they were earrings with black tourmaline and opal, and they had a key on the end of it. And she's like, you need to take these. And they were like $25 earrings. And she's like, here you go, sister. And I'm like, stop it.
That has, like, for me...
Sorry, I live on one of the noisiest streets in Canada.
No, it's okay. We live in Philly. I mean,
yeah, it's like
we feel it. It's always.
Although it's not New York, but
yeah. What it in Philly? It's not so much the sirens all the time. It's fucking motorcycles and quad runners and just people.
We get that too.
With their cars.
Oh,
yeah.
you get the loud fucking. And like,
the fucking
really? Windows don't shake anymore.
Yeah.
That's crazy. They actually just not to go on too much of a tangent, but Philly just cracked down on illegal car meetups.
What? Wait, are they illegal?
Yeah, they're super illegal.
What, like, just to meet up and talk about cars, or like meet up and race?
Well, because they would ride. They would do like big rides.
It's dangerous because they gather where kids are, and it's like, I'm not like that Karen, like, for the children. I don't give a fuck about the children, but it's like a safety issue, because when they're doing donuts in a parking lot, like a kid could be like walking through the parking lot kind of thing.
Yeah, but
love how you said that. That was harmony.
Fuck them kids, no.
Just
kidding. I'm kidding.
Love the cheering.
Oh God.
Oh my.
They're already back on the whole, the pagans eat babies.
Delicious.
They're on that again, apparently.
Stop. Thank you for getting us
pagans
back
eat
on
baby
topic,
carrots.
JD Vance, we stopped the pagans from the baby sacrifices.
I am begging the sirens to pick another street other than mine to drive down. It is the noisiest fucking street in Toronto, and Toronto is the New York of Canada.
It's true. I've heard that
If there's
before.
not someone screaming, there's dogs barking, or somebody coughing their lungs out, or somebody getting robbed.
It's interesting that you mentioned that. Like, growing up, like, that was just like the sound. That's just the sounds of the city, right? Like, it is what it is, and I got very accustomed to that. And I've now been like circling with a lot of people who have like houses out in more suburban areas. And also over in New Jersey, which, as a Pennsylvanian, I'm supposed to hate people. Not hate people, but ew, New Jersey. But whatever. It's all stolen land. So, whatever.
That's the real truth at the end of the day.
Right. But
it's all
I don't know. There's just really nice pockets of nice, quiet little areas with trees and shit over in New Jersey, and as a born and raised city kid, I'm getting tired of the city. I think it's really where I'm worn down from it. Like, the constant noise, the constant light, the constant pressure and closeness, and I want a little bit more privacy.
May I suggest something? Escape to Saskatchewan. This is a joke, but Chapel Roan has been romanticizing Saskatchewan, the province that my family is all from.
Back in the bags. Let's go.
All right, I got a passport.
Because it's basically the Canadian prairie, and it's the least of the three bigoted. Actually, Manitoba's not bad, from what I know. Although Winnipeg is known as Stab City, so take that with a grain of salt. Sorry.
Yeah, Rue's fursuit came from Quebec, so
Montreal.
Nice. But yeah, she's been romanticizing
like building a community out there.
So I kind of expect the queers to invade it and take it over and like do queer country Saskatchewan, and I'm like, oh god, here we go, y'all.
Right.
If it happens, congratulations. My inability to shut the fuck up will have introduced you to the Saskatchewan accent ahead of time, so that when you hear people talking like I do, all of a sudden, it's not going to be like a shock to you.
I don't think anything shocks me. Like, I've heard so many different accents. Honestly, I feel terrible with certain accents because it's really hard for me to understand. People that have a thick African accent, very difficult for me to understand.
Okay,
and, like,
so
Indian
I have learned this
accent.
It's all just exposure. You have to spend enough time with that group of people specifically, and then you learn the accent. I've learned it.
Yeah.
I've had everything I've ever had a difficulty with. You just spend more time with the people, and you learn it. That's all it is.
Yeah, and I went to school with like a ton of, not so much kids from from Africa specifically, but a lot of kids that were from like India and Pakistan, and I don't know. It was just always just one of those things. I was also a little bit always hard of hearing too, and I have to like look at your mouth moving sometimes to like really focus on what you're saying.
You're the kind of person that needs IRL subtitles.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think
that's your first cyberpunk implant. You want IRL subtitles installed.
Yeah, like my low range is kind of like low tones. I don't hear.
Yeah, my mom has issues with low tones too. The doctor told her it was just the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's really
actually there is a thing that you can get that has just started successfully happening, and they're calling it one of the first true cybernetic implants. It's a cochlear implant. It's a hearing aid that gets implanted into your skin.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, I'm not quite at any. I'm not in any position where I would say I'm like deaf, like partially deaf or anything like that. I wouldn't say that, but
aren't you ready to be a cyborg?
I'm not. Rue's more prepared for the cyborg life than me, I think.
Really just want. So it's so crazy. We were talking. We had ritual yesterday at a livestream, and it was wonderful. It was at the Gnomestead, Mike and Stacy's over in Clementine. And it was a great turnout. We almost hit 17 heathens again. I think we were at 16 max. But we were all just chatting and eating our food and everything like that. And I found out that both Michelle and I think it was Glory, who's Hazel's partner, but two people in the kindred have -7 for their vision. I'm at a -3. And I'm like, y'all are legally blind. And so we were talking about contacts and we were talking about
I'm
placing.
halfway. Well, I'm like halfway blind because I'm -4.5 in this eye and -4.75 in this eye. But
there you go.
I'm actually probably a little bit worse than that now because that was a prescription from like 2002-ish. I just
been a
keep
minute.
ordering mine online because it's a cheaper way to get it. So if I get it retested, I'm probably around -5 in each eye, and it only goes to like -10. So I'm like halfway blind without my contact.
I just have really bad astigmatism.
Astigmatism?
Really bad. It fucking hurts. Like whenever I take my glasses, like there are times like when I take my glasses off, like if I don't really want to do it because I'll be like this, like you know, I'm like
Real quick, what song has been stuck in everybody's head today/lately? You gotta only pick one. Okay, 2 tops.
What the song that's stuck in my head lately?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Going up, 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 da, da, da. I haven't even watched K-pop yet, and that stupid golden song.
You know it's been stuck in my head because I've been seeing it a lot. Because people are talking. From Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island.
Yes.
For me,
oddly enough, for me, it's been Witch's Road. Of all the things, it's been Witch's Road. That's just been on a loop for some reason.
Okay. For me, it's been this song by a new kind of like rock/metal band with a lead singer lady who really kicks ass, who's like South American. It's called Impeccable, and it's like a story about like death talking to a warrior and like the guy being connected to like his like a South American version of like your better self that's like your opposite. It's called a Nagual. I'm actually not even sure I'm saying it right. It's spelled Nagual. It's a really fucking good song, and like the choruses is like something that really gets stuck in your head, and the fact that it like sounds amazing too, like really fucks. And right now also Beat Up Chanel's by Slater.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned music because right now it's like I'm always listening to music. I listen to music like while I'm working. Like I like to have noise going on, and my music it changes. Like I could be listening to some chants, and then we're doing like a metal song, and then you know something like something you hear at a
and
rave.
then Aquafina comes on.
Yeah, it's all over the place. You know, a good song is a good song. To me,
that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And also, like, for example, there's one Demi Lovato song that I adore, but I actually just loathe. Not even loathe. There's just the rest of her music is so mid. It's like so phoned in and boring. But like, it's All Night, the one where it's like, I'll be here all night. Yeah. It absolutely fucking is way too catchy, and it'll get in your fucking head if you hear it like once.
Demi Lovato,
but all of her other music is
version. Like. She did a rock version of Heart Attack, and that is always on my playlist. It's such a boom room.
That is the better version of that song.
It is. She was also high as fuck when she did the first one, so
hilarious.
I'm doing her a favor by
most
listening to the
artists
new
are
one.
Better when they're doing drugs, let's be real.
It's a tragic truth. It's like a tragic truth because then it's like and then it's like those same artists like they often die young, you know what I mean? Like in their 40s.
You want better industry creativity? Make the creatives take drugs again.
But like
make drugs great again.
Drugs, oh my God. Terrible. Terrible.
Back in Black.
I'll drink
what's her name?
Yes.
Oh. Enter Sandman by Rina Sawayama absolutely fucks. She covered the Metallica song.
Enter Sandman's always just a good song in general.
I think
She
Witch's
did
Road.
such a good version of it.
I think Witch's Road's been stuck in my head a lot because I have
It's gonna be
really
stuck in your head until we
been
do a cover of it. Scott, are you
that-
in? Darian, are you in?
but also
He's downstairs.
I've been thinking of my own chants and like my own little tunes, and like I don't know, Stacy bought this like recorder thing and I was kind of messing around with it and just teaching. I can usually teach myself some kind of instrument, like not to like a professional level or anything like that, but enough to make a little song, kind of thing.
Yeah.
A little ditty.
Yeah, so I've had the itch, the urge to make music. Like that's kind of where I've been right now. Like I really want to go downstairs and tune my guitars and when I was a teenager, I'm sure it annoyed the shit out of my parents, but like I would just play my guitar for hours. Like hours, and the way I taught myself, I just found guitar tabs online to the songs that I liked. So it would just be all these, like one of the first songs I learned on guitar was like an Avril Lavigne song. So
cool.
You know what you should do? Write witch music.
That's it just comes down to like I just get really like I don't like this working a day job thing is difficult, and like you come home and you're like, oh, I gotta do this and all these other things, and then you're like, I have 1 hour before I have to go to sleep. I'm too tired to break out the guitar, the amp, the this, the that, and so it's just
well, that's why you gotta have it preset in a room ahead of time.
Yeah,
so that you can carve that out a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I want a craft room so bad.
Yeah, I know.
I want a craft room.
I want beat up Chanels.
I would love the crafting space. I think so much about like all the crafts that I would like to get into. Like I love like Brian. Brian, our longtime viewer here.
Our mutual?
Yeah, mutual, yeah. He does a lot of like beadwork. He like makes because he does a lot of folk Catholicism. And he makes like rosaries and stuff.
Not your
but
TikTok
I was like,
mutual.
how cool would it be to make like
or not the TikTok mutual? Or yes?
Yes, our TikTok mutual.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is the same person.
It's the same person. We confirmed that in the beginning of the episode, honey.
I didn't know it was the same person that's been in this. I thought it was someone you actually knew, like in Philly or something like.
No. Here, and it's funny because he's like really inspired me because like I was thinking about because I'm with my whittling and stuff. I'm like trying to learn how to do like how to whittle on like a flat surface. Like you could like do like profiles and stuff. Like make. Here's like a flat like medallion kind of situation. And I was like, how cool would it be if like I did like simple stuff, nothing too crazy because I'm not really an artist, but like I can do like simple sort of almost woodcut like designs. Because I was like, how cool would it be if like I did like a rosary dedicated to Saint Cyprian, and I used like obsidian black oh my god, what is that wood?
Black walnut?
Ebony, like ebony wood, or a black walnut, a black walnut wood, and Saint, and different spirits or whatever. Yeah.
If I may, can we do the second book? I know this is too early because we still haven't finished first book club, and I want to acknowledge that. Sorry, we've been delayed on Passport to Magonia. But I think after that, I want to suggest we do Consorting with Spirits because, like, you already have it and have read it, which is easy and accessible for you with a lot going on, and it's fucking good. And I think we would all benefit from reading it and talking about it.
I think Jay and Rue have it too. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know, but I can get a copy.
I could have sworn I saw it on your on your thing on your bookshelf, but maybe not.
I'll have to.
It was on. So the funny thing was, I actually did have that exact book on my audiobook list on Spotify, and of course, I got rid of my Spotify. But it was on my list to read, and I have Kindle, so I'll just get it through Kindle or something.
Yeah. And I'm sure you could also
Audible,
you can get it
Audible
from
has it too.
Happify.
And
Yeah.
So how much is Audible? Is it like, I think it's like $20 a month.
It's $15 a month. It's $15 hang on, Canadian a month. So it's probably closer to like $10 or $12 American. Canadian's way worth less than American. And you get one book a month with that credit, and you also get access to sales and books they add to your collection. So during Halloween, the lead up to it, there was a bunch of like Magick books they added to the catalog temporarily. So I was like greedily reading as much as I could. I was like, wow.
Good job, Audible. Start spreading the witchery.
There's a lot of witchcraft books on it, and because it's actually got a really good algorithm, it picks up on what you read to suggest you shit. So like Consorting with Spirits was just something that was recommended to me, right? And I was like, oh shit, yeah, Jason Miller, he actually fucks. Let's do this.
I'll have to remind Darian to do Audible again when he can, because it's the only way that he finds he's able to really read effectively.
It's accessible
for him, just due to his beautiful neurodiverse brain. Books like physical copies are just too hard to focus on.
They can be also
Meanwhile, if I'm
too easy to
listening-
damage and hard to bring around with you, right? Like if you're on the go a lot, like I am. So here's the problem. Like with my job, I could have bone induction headphones on and have an audiobook playing when I'm not doing anything, which I do sometimes. Or I could bring a book with me and have people think that I'm lazy and have my book get damaged and have like all this judgment, or I can listen to a book when nobody even knows that I'm listening to a book, right? So of course I'm going to take the Audible option and play it through my bone induction headphones.
I like reading spooky witch books on the subway because people look at me crazy and it's fun.
And they get to... I always have that opinion of like, I'm glad I talk about magic publicly and I'm not afraid to, because then people get to hear that like there is... magic's real and like there's a lot of theories
that part's
it.
fun. That part's fun. I just in Philly though, people here are like really annoyingly opinionated in the worst possible.
Oh, so are they
way.
here? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like, cause like they just will say whatever
is on their
comes to their
mind.
heads.
Yeah.
Toronto is the New York of Canada. Let me put it like that.
Yeah.
Same attitude.
Okay, so you get it. You get it.
Yeah.
I did the thing. I have Audible now. They gave me an offer. It was only $1 a month for the first 3 months.
Pretty cool.
There you go.
$15 a month. So
then so check that. For $3 you get 3 books and like also
well, maybe I should
get a book a month
catalog and shit.
I guess
No. Hang on. You also get access to whatever's in the Audible catalog that's in the rotation, so you look through what's available. Audible. And some stuff will be there, and some stuff is just like available to download if the author wants it to be free. So like, there's a lot of, or there'll be sales that you get access to that where you'll get like a book for like, I don't know, $15 or like, actually no, it's not worth it if you do $15. You could just save for your credit, right? Sometimes you'll get a book for like $2 or $5 though, and you'll be like, fuck yeah. So
yeah, I have the Kindle.
It's worth it.
Yeah, Jay has the Kindle, and we have the Kindle app also. But no, what were you saying, baby? You said something.
Me?
No, Jay, baby.
Oh, Jay. I'm sorry. You call.
No, I gotta stop. I call everybody baby and hun.
I know.
You do.
I forget, so it doesn't matter.
You were saying something about Audible.
Oh yeah, it's funny, Scott. You were mentioning Darian. He just can't focus like on the book, like the physical book. But for me, I'm opposite. Like if I have an audiobook going, I'm like not paying attention to. I'm paying attention to everything else that's around me, kind of thing.
I actually agree with that too sometimes. So let me hear me out on this. there's certain books that are perfect for Audible, right? And there's certain books where I'm listening to it in audiobook or in spoken book format, and I know I should be actually reading this. And those tend to be like hermetic texts
Oh
specifically.
yeah,
I
yeah.
tend to avoid those on spoken because if you move through them too quick without actually sitting to grok over like what each of the sentence means, you won't really absorb it or understand what it's talking about. It's not meant to be read at the pace of like poetry or a story, you know? So you got to treat it like it's something different because it is.
Just
And
had a
if you give that respect, it's way easier to get through, but you have to take it a little slower, right? And it'll make sense and it'll be very useful to you. In fact, I find like if you've read a lot, hermetic texts are pretty fucking excellent food for thought sources or like places to get techniques and ideas to improve your craft, you know?
I just had a thought about, I guess, the incoming next wave of young practitioners, right? Because there's always an influx, right?
Yeah.
With now, generally speaking, people who practice the occult, we tend to have been more of the bookish nerd people anyway. So, like, when we're in school, we're absorbing, you know, whether we pursued higher education or not, whether we pursued it outside of school or within a school setting, whatever, we're nerdy, bookish people, right? We like to learn and absorb.
Mhm.
I'm thinking about, you know, like how AI is taking over the classroom. We can't write 5 sentences, you know, reading comprehension is dog shit. You know, just like stuff like that. And it doesn't stop a young kid from being interested in the occult just because they can't read or write. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily stop them,
Well,
because I'm sure they're hearing about it through TikTok, and they're hearing about it more through like a video sort of format or an audio format like this podcast or something like that.
it's also important to remember though too that not every kid will. And I've had this like big realization that the whole reason that the elite do this shit to the poor is twofold. One, they want us to be so goddamn poor that like we don't have any hope of being able to ever challenge them.
And we also don't
And
know
two,
better. Yeah.
yes, and two, oh fuck, I forgot the second one. Uh I think it has something to do with like disenfranchise the youth, but now I can't remember because you said something and I really thought about it for a second and I lost my train of thought. So, sorry about
But
it.
I'm kind of thinking about back to the time that I had in the grade school, and that they did offer, in addition to their magical study, they did offer like math, history, science, you know, like real science, you know,
Yeah.
geology, biology. So like things like that, you know, I guess I'm just a little worried, apprehensive, I don't know, about the next wave of discourse, the next wave of occult practitioners. Like, we're very book and written word kind of heavy right now. We always kind of have been, right? It's kind of been that way up until now. That's how we've preserved all of this information. And it's like I'm just thinking about, you know, this next wave coming in, like, are they going to
That's what
be
I was
able
gonna say, yeah.
to digest this material? Are they going to
So
like, I wonder if if within our witchcraft occult instructional material now, because I know a lot of us are trying to think of classes and things like that, like I think writing exercises need to be incorporated into there. You might have to go back to the basics on grammar. You might have to, you know, go back to the basics on math, like for some people, and I just think that's something that I don't know if we're talking about it quite yet.
so this is also the other thing I was gonna say. Not only do the rich do that thing because they want to deprive the poor of ever having a chance to oppose them, they want to put so much pressure on us that some of us like fight tooth and nail and get into that whole hustle culture shit to try and like stay on top. You know what I mean? Because then those people are highly exploitable and therefore highly profitable. So they're always like driving to try and see who's going to try and climb the heap and then take advantage of those people in the highest way possible. Right. It's like a pyramid scheme of exploitation that people will kind of like fall into the rut of, because sometimes you do need to hustle a little bit to fucking pay your bills, and it's shitty and tough, but it is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's a difference between like experiencing the hustle versus like hustle culture, I guess, kind of thing.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, it makes sense.
It's such a difficult. It's so hard for me too, because I think about this a lot too. About the new people coming in and the trends that are new. I think that they're newer. I really do. I think that I don't know if any of you have noticed, but like these sort of like certain kinds of spells are trendy.
Yeah.
Then you have AI spells that feel hollow. Um, we didn't really. I don't remember having that. I'll say that I don't remember that when I was coming up in this stuff.
Mm.
I don't remember, we had like a particular kind of spell. I remember being like, oh, I learned about poppets. Oh, I learned about witch bottles. Oh, I learned about, we were always fascinated by transference magic. And you
Mhm.
give something to a tree, like if you have epilepsy or whatever, there's a cure where you give your epilepsy to an aspen tree, right? Like or warts, that too. There's wart cutting, like these sort of all these intricate different systems of different ways to do spells and magic. And we had like, but it was always that sort of exploratory, right? But now it's like this weird sort of like
Like
I don't
printout.
know,
Like, this is how you do
it's
it.
sterile
So
and
Template.
I want
yeah,
to say something. I've had an epiphany recently. I've moved a lot in my life, and I've realized that your habits are always reliant on the environment that you exist in and how you relate to both your home and your neighborhood. If you have a lack of space, you're always going to be crowded and it's going to be messy. If you have enough space, you can organize your shit and put everything where it needs to be and don't really struggle for that, right? If you're in an area where you have only access to fast food and you have to go further to get groceries, you're more likely to pick up fast food in a way that's convenient to you, right? Or if your grocery store is close to you is overpriced, you're going to put off doing groceries, stuff like that. And it also translates to how you spend your time. So if you're only inferring in a digital space or in like this type of communication, you're going to do like medium and practice that reflects that space and utilization, right? So it changes you, and your magic that you're going to get people doing, you're going to see less of like people going out and doing tree shit unless they live in areas where they still want to go and do that often. It's also, this is the other thing I was going to say, like we talk about everybody going to be this and going to be that, but we always forget that like technology only changes so much of a generation, and there are people who rebuke it and see it for what it is and don't fall into the trap of like utilizing it. And we
yeah.
got to give people time and space to see it for what it is and give them credit, with guidance. It is our job as the older generations to help like give them the guidance that we never got necessarily,
Good point.
and like tell them the things that we know, because we grew up in the era where we watched all of this come together. We have an eye that's trained unlike almost anybody else's, because like I play video games, I've seen almost every iteration of fucking graphics up until like modern times. I can really fucking tell when something's AI and it's getting like spooky good. It's like
It
bad
is.
about how spooky good it is, and it's like I can still tell it, but like I can
Getting
tell that
harder.
most people can't at this point. And not most people, but a lot of people who are either too old.
We're
The
especially
youth
like
actually have a really good level of being able to discern it as well,
we're especially like at
because
a quick
they're like
glance.
terminally online as well. Sorry, go ahead.
Like AI video, like the really good, like realistic looking AI videos that like at a quick glance, like if you're scrolling through real quick, some of these look so fucking real.
It
Like
should be illegal.
it
Yeah,
really
I think so
should.
too.
It's not even scrolling through quick and just being confused. Like there are straight up like scientists are being like bamboozled on TikTok. Like there was this whole video of a professor going off in the front of the classroom about like Trump and shit like that. The entire video was AI generated. Like not a single thing, and like this video went viral, like millions of views and
There's
millions of likes.
there's
And
multiple videos like that.
exactly,
Mhm.
it is scary. It
I
genuinely is scary.
I'm good at noticing it. I'm really good with detail, but I won't lie to you. There are times where I have to sort of watch something for a minute. And I go, okay, yeah, it's AI. But the good thing is I do have a good sense of it. So like if I'm looking at something, I'm going, something feels weird here. And then all of a sudden I like, oh, okay, this is AI. I've taken to just saying not interested. Like I just hit the not interested, not interested, not interested. Every AI video, not interested, not interested. I do it on every forum, every social media that I'm on now. Because like I'm just trying my best to get rid of it as much as I can.
Yeah, you make the
It's just
algorithm kind of work for you as best you can.
yeah. Because like I mean, like it was Laura Tempest Zakroff. She was saying how like there are so many good artists in our community. We have one pagan witchy occult artists are amazing, and we have been for years. There are some outstanding elders who were outstanding artists. Austin Osmond Spare being one of them. There's also a woman, I forget her name. She was Golden Dawn. And she also made paintings years ago that are still very popular to this day, and among of course modern and whatever. But the thing is like we don't need AI to make our make occult art.
No.
Occult art is a spell. Occult art is magic. It is not AI cannot make occult art. It can't make any art because I think all art is magic, but specifically, you know, occult art made by occultists to be occult art is very, very charged. It's very
Right, it's
powerful.
like, can it generate an image? Yes. Can it generate text? Yes. But can it actually understand the nuances behind each thing, the part of the spell, the thing it made, the part of the,
right.
What is the emotion behind this symbol in this painting or whatever? No, it can't do that.
Right. And I think that even with a lot of the AI generated spells, I see so many people, they're so excited about them, but when you read through them, the words make no sense. You're like, you're just saying things, it's using words that sound spooky to make a spell. But, you know, as practitioners, you know, as involved as we are, we know that the words have to mean something, right? You have to kind of what you're talking about. You have to
And they have
like
to mean something to you.
That's true.
Exactly.
right. So that's my thing with AI and education and you know I mean but I also do I do totally see what Sophia was talking about you know we have to remember that there still are those young people just as we were who are the rabble rouser the one who rejects you know modernity and is like you know I refuse to be told you know I'm gonna go and do the opposite of what everyone else is doing you know, and yes, they're going to be outstanding at this, right? They're going to be the ones that, you know, we're all sitting there and, you know, in our rocking chairs casting curses on our horrible neighbors and they'll walk by and they'll be like, we like you know?
Yeah.
You're good, kid. You don't go into the oven, you know?
Oh, God.
Now get off my lawn.
right?
Also, I think that we all
not my milkshake.
I think that if you get to that point though where you are very assured of your craft and you've practiced for like a long time, don't be afraid to write a book if you feel you have something to say. Don't feel you should write a book if like because honestly, here's the real talk about it. Don't write a book just for the sake of writing a book. Right?
Yeah,
Don't write a book because you want to have your name out there. Don't write a book because you want to like have the association of being an author. Write a book if you have something to say that you've learned, that you want to contribute, that's useful, or that's individuated for you, or you have like something to contribute. And we have a million billion 101 books. Please try not to write one of those. While they are useful, don't write a 101 book first and don't stick to just writing 101 shit because there's an overabundance of it.
I also
an
think
overabundance.
And
Sorry,
also,
go ahead.
the one thing, no, it's okay. It reminded me, and I think I like that you said that. But also, too, I love this new this new resurgence in like storytelling witchcraft books where like you're
Yes.
telling a story and you're teaching magic, but like you
Yes.
have to read the story to like learn what it's about. Please, more of that. Do more
Will do.
of that. That's
on my
cool
list.
too. There's tons of
Oh
them.
yeah, again, Hades too does that shit. They actually do. Like a lot of the elements in it, you're like collecting ingredients for spells. You're like saying incantations, even though it is still like more of an action game and it's not like directly teaching somebody real life ingredients. Some of it is real, like, you know, bronze and silver and shit like that, but some of the herbs are like fake shit.
But there is books. There's like the Black Book of something not bristle. That one's really
Mhm.
good. I forget the full
Scott,
title
do
of that
you
one. A few really good
do you
stories.
like video games?
I don't really play them much. I like them. I mean, like I just don't play. I don't really.
I do know one
Darian's
that I
the
think you would. I do know one that I think you would actually really get into, though. It's Hades 2, because like your character is literally a witch trying to kill Thonos, the time god.
Oh, that's cool. That'd be really. See, that
Yeah,
sounds fun. I
or
would
the
play
time
that. I
titan.
do like that.
And like you learn from Hecate, and she's like your teacher at the crossroads, and that's where you like go back every time you die, and like the story progresses all the time, and like you work with other gods and goddesses and titans. It's really fucking cool.
That is really cool. I know that there's like a witchy sort of sandbox kind
Oh,
of game that's coming out
it's
called
gay.
Witchbrook.
Yeah, Witchbrook's
What?
coming out soon.
Did you see my
Hades
face?
2
What?
and Hades 1, both of the characters are bi.
I love queerness, queer witchcraft always. No, yeah, that's actually something I wanted to talk about. I've been meaning to make a post about how witchcraft is queer, on TikTok, but I feel like it'll just get
I actually have
flamed.
a really good argument to agree with you. Do you want me to give my pitch first, or do you want to give your rant?
We could save
Unfortunately,
it for a future
yeah,
episode.
I think that's a good yeah, I do wanna have that conversation, but I also have, like, 18 more math problems to my homework that I haven't done yet, and I have
Yeah.
D&D in, like, a few hours. I actually was unfortunately going to say how much I love all of you, and I'm really happy I got to be here today, but I gotta go do homework because it's
Mhm.
I was
due
just gonna say,
tomorrow
wrap up
at
the
We should
1.
boys.
probably call the episode anyways.
Yeah, we're like an hour and 15, so we can definitely wrap up here. So, concluding
I want to
statements.
say, all eyes on Sudan. There's a genocide happening there too. It's really fucking bad. Pay attention. Write to your MPs or call them. Do what you can. Donate if you can. It's fucked up. We should talk about it just like we talk about Palestine and also free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
The ceasefire has been violated a lot. Just in case you didn't know, you know, Israel is doing Israel shit. So keep pressure on both of these, and you know, free every oppressed minority everywhere. Fuck the state that oppresses people. Fuck what's going on with Trump in the States, you know. Stand
Buckeyes.
up, fight back.
And also please feed your neighbors with Snap,
That.
with all the issues with Snap.
Mhm.
If you have extra, and I'm sure, like, in some ways it's not even just for our viewers, because I'm sure our viewers would, but like, you know, if you could also remind people in your own lives to try to help Snap found people on Snap and Wick, and these are things here in the States. I don't yeah, if you could try your hardest to help as much as you can, or maybe lead people to resources if you can, or whatever it may be, or even if like you and your let's say your family doesn't have a lot and another family doesn't have a lot, maybe you can bring together the things that you have, you know, help each other out a little bit, you know, that kind of thing. But try to help each other. Don't let each other starve, because these assholes are trying to starve poor people and sick people and children, and yeah, so don't let them. I love you all.
Pure evil.
Love you.
Love you too.
All right. Honestly, Scott, I
That
agree
note.
with everything you said. I've been thinking about that a lot. I'm like, I need a food bank like now in front of my house.
Stop paying your taxes.
Oh,
Seriously.
Ooh, if I didn't own property that they could take, I wouldn't. If I was
Yeah.
renting, I would. I would just be like, I don't know what taxes. I don't know. Alrighty. But
Right,
on
guys,
that
I'm gonna
note,
go do this
yep,
homework.
we're
I
gonna
love
head
you
out
all
of here.
so very, very much.
We'll see you in the next
Mwah.
one.
Mwah.